contesting it. Looks like it might be contested, or they're at least having discussion about the timing of that foul. Observer upholds the foul call.
Gotta reset the vertical stack.
Back to the your places. It's always kind of hard to tell where exactly you were when a call goes up, if you weren't. And there's
Throwing
that
a
deep
bomb.
shot.
Oh, cannot hold on to it. Great bid, though.
Yeah, it looks like the wind has definitely picked up for the second game. We're seeing these throws not quite connect, just bouncing off the hands of receivers.
Lang bringing it in. Finding an open receiver. Torch with the under, available to get it. Looking for dump. Hannah Walters grabs it. Just taking their time with this offense. Playing a possession game.
Looks like their Sidewinders is trying to poach in a way that gets Super Bloom onto that sideline. Pick called, I would assume, with how the stack is shaping up downfield. A lot of people in that space. Easy for a pick to occur. All right, back in play here. Pajunas with the disc. Stuck on that sideline, looking for something.
Hannah Walters with a great grab. Heads up play. And a break for the goal.
That was a beautiful set after coming off of that call. Pajunas able to kind of Hail Mary throw to Walters, who then very easily spotted Salvation in the end zone for that break score. We are now 1-1 in this first quarter of the Sidewinders Super Bloom game. Let's see that replay. There we see from a different angle, Walters grabbing that great heads up grab, and then Salvation bringing it in for the score. We'll get there.
Pole is out of bounds.
Looks like Carly Steiner taking it up to the brick, center of the field.
We have a big bomb. Kayla's looking for it. Oh, nice D by Kayla. Dietrich could not come up with it.
And those are the deep shots to Dietrich that we were talking about ahead of this game starting.
Oh, and a bomb by Lang immediately, looking for Kayla.
And it connects.
She dumps it to Neha, and it looks like we have a call. Timeout by Angela Wells. Classic call, Angela.
Yeah, definitely seems like this is a good time to maybe shift in some of those O-line players now that we have possession in a pretty good spot, I'd say. Like a good swing to the center, and we can get the disc into the end zone. We'll see if Sidewinders decide to swap out any of their players, put on some of their hardier defensive players. Let's take a look again at Helton's play before this timeout. There's that D, just in that deep space, and then I mean, they're not bookends, but got the D and then got the deep score, or not score, grab. Hopefully a score soon.
Yeah, we'll see. Lang to Kayla is generally a winning combo that I would put money on. coming out on O. Lang's picking up. Potentially deep to Pujonas. Not an option. Looking for Kelly Iwamoto. Oh, it's a little too high. It's a turn. Sidewinders center the disc. Look for the break side to Jade McLaughlin. Jade's looking for a dump. We've got some shutdown D, and she's got to bomb it. Oh, a stall is also called.
Yeah, it looks like a stall was called back with Paginas, and it looks like McLaughlin. That disc did roll all the way to the opposite end zone. We're going to listen in, if we can, to the observers.
When they tap it, you can move. Someone has to come back. So just go ahead and tap it and you're good to go.
Looks like the stall is upheld.
Backhand, backhand.
Super Bloom now on O. Lang picks up to Jonas. Little collision with the Super Bloomers. But they maintain possession. And a goal to Kayla Helton. Who else?
I believe that is a break. San Diego coming off of their last win, hopefully holding on to that energy. Looks like they're able to and get a break. Let's see a replay of that. You see Pajunas getting it down to Stamba, who then sees Kayla Helton for a nice score. Yeah, there's no indicator, like there's no flag that we can see out here, but folks, the wind has definitely picked up for this second game. I'm surprised we haven't seen more zone looks from both teams, but hey, maybe we'll see it right now from Super Bloom defense. Looks like it.
Good call. We got a bomb. Oh, and
wow.
A nicey by Kayla Hilton.
They are really testing Helton as deep in this zone, and you know what? She's passing with flying colors so far.
Picking it up on the end zone line. Immediately, Kayla to Jonas. Got a deep open. Dump swing.
Ellis with the disc. Nice quick handler movement there between Ellis and WUL.
Frost.
Yeah, Sarah's saying,
unfortunately.
Just through the hands of number 16, Lauren Stewart. San Diego with a bid to try to get that back. Sidewinders finding open space.
Looks like there's a call.
I'm guessing a pick, but we'll see. Timeout. Timeout for Sidewinders. Definitely a good strategy if you want to take a breath, come up with a play, reset the stall if it was climbing up there, getting close to that 7 stall.
As we saw from the last game that ended in a double overtime victory, every point matters. So I could see calling a timeout and wanting to possess and ensure this goal.
Yeah, definitely. And I imagine San Diego is anticipating some sort of pool play from Sidewinders, so they're probably figuring out the best way to stop that with their defense. We'll see what Sidewinders have in store for us after this timeout. Looks like offense is going to set up.
We'll see if San Diego comes out with any trick plays. Looking like person D at the moment. Sidewinders in their vertical stack. Immediate dump for Gaines. And Kayla with another D.
I think she's coming for Pajunas' stats from the last game, trying to climb up the ladder with those blocks.
We've got Pajunas open for an in-cut. Jump swing.
Ellis with a disc, looking for WUL.
Oh, a D. LP. Carly Steiner with it. And a foul call.
Wait 1 second.
We'll see what the observers are ruling for this call.
We gotta have a pre-stall. 4.
Looks like it's staying with
3,
Steiner.
2, 1.
Oh, an inside flick and just a little out of Dietrich's reach. San Diego picking up again on their own end zone.
Dabowski with the disc. Handler's working it. An unfortunate turn.
Sidewinders with another shot for an end zone play here. See number 25, McLaughlin looking for that up line. Oh, just off the hands of number 22, Lindsay Doyle. I feel like that's a player we would see a sure grab from. So again, just have to wonder how much the wind is playing into these drops that we're seeing on both sides.
Super Bloom relying heavily on Kayla.
Yeah, a little bobble from Kayla, but Ellis able to scoop it up, save possession.
To Neha. Nice grab. She's got to bomb it. Can Super Bloom come up with it? Of course Kayla can. Dumps it to
Helton,
Neha.
little game of catch in front of the end zone.
Right outside the end zone.
Seeing Pajunas. Oh!
Yes, Pajunas comes down with it.
What a snag by Pajunas. And Vineconquer seeing that Pajunas is going up line and saying, I trust my teammate. Here's the disc for the score.
That's a great break for Super Bloom.
And really, that started back with Samantha WUL's probably high stall put, which got it off the close half of the field, and Super Bloom was finally able to get it near their end zone and punch in that score. Score now is 3-1. I think I heard that the stream might not have been live for the first couple of minutes. Just a recap, Sidewinders were able to hold and get an offensive point for the first point, and then San Diego also held for the next point, bringing it to 1-1, and then San Diego got a break, making it 2-1. And now here we are with another break from San Diego, bringing us to 3-1. Cynthia Thomas with the disc. We see Thomas going, streaking deep. See if Sidewinders want to hit that cutter in the wind today.
Arizona playing possession until
now.
My
goodness. Heads up D, interception by Ellis.
Kayla putting it deep.
Oh! That was nearly a tip from Sidewinders into Salvation's hands for a score. Helton having put that up to try to punch in the score.
Sidewinders working it with an open under and a dump. This quarter is about to come to an end, so Sidewinders will possess until they no longer possess.
Yeah, after if Sidewinders either have to
Cynthia
score.
Thomas deep. Oh, great D.
So that will be the end of this first quarter, as it is a turn and Sidewinders had possession with the time ran out.
Alexa Stombaugh with a great D there at the end.
Yeah, I would have to say that for this first quarter, we're definitely seeing both teams contend with this wind. Person defense trying to maybe feel out each other. Let's see that replay. We see it go up to Cynthia Thomas, but Stombaugh able to just tip that disc just out of Cynthia Thomas's hands. All right, we will be right back for the second quarter after this short break.
Welcome back to the second quarter of the Super Bloom versus Sidewinders game. Looks like Super Bloom is coming out on defense.
Yeah, it was kind of a drop for drop first quarter. I feel like I'm a broken record here talking about this win, which you might be able to hear a little bit of in our mics, but it's definitely affecting the way these teams are able to play. Sidewinders picking up.
I'm surprised that more teams haven't come out in a zone defense, and it looks like Super Bloom is now.
They can hear us.
Jade boosting it to Aubrey for a big goal!
Oh, I believe she lost possession on that bid. Maybe did not hit the ground in the best way. Looks like there is an injury. Dietrich really known for these huge bids, this dominant deep player, and I think just running down that disc in that bid, not exactly the safest. Let's take a look at that replay. We see that great put. Dietrich there catches it, but looks like just maybe hits in the sternum area, just knocked the wind out of her probably.
I agree. Might have the wind knocked out of her. Hopefully it's nothing serious. One of their main threats.
Yeah, we have the trainer there down on the field. Looks like we are getting a sub, but you know, of course, taking our time, making sure the player is okay before moving her off the field.
Diego, Super Bloom, anyone want a sub? Is everyone gonna stay?
Aubrey is generally known as one of Shame's biggest deep threats in the game, so you hate to see her down.
Yeah, just hoping the player's okay. Looks like there is a bit of a limp there. Maybe it was a connection with her leg and the ground that just did not work well.
Yeah.
Hoping though that she's okay, able to walk it off. We do have a sub coming in. trying to see if...
Discus live!
Okay, so
Discus
possession
live!
was lost in that bid, so now it will be Super Bloom picking up for a chance at another break.
Lang picking up on the end zone line.
Ellis setting up for that dump.
Immediate centering pass.
Seeing Sarah Zhang on the far side.
Back to Zhang. Zhang cuts oven after passing it. Pujonas has an open field. Opts to break.
Little bit
Towards
of
the
a
middle towards Lexa. Lexa to Kayla, who holsters her huck.
ooh, and we got Lauren Stewart able to pick up that disc, just tipped off of Pujonas' hands.
Ellis with a bit of a bobble, but maintains possession. Ellis and Pujonas working it.
Yeah,
Just
this
ping-ponging back and forth.
good patience in the handler set. Cutters are just waiting for handlers to get in a good position to hit the downfield.
Nice break by Ellis to Frost.
Looks
And we
like
have
a
call.
pick is called. I think that is on Sarah Zhang.
Disc is in with Zhang. Looking for a dump. Who gets one in Ellis? Ellis throws the break to Kayla Hilton for the goal.
Ooh, that was a smooth, buttery break. That is another break for San Diego, and we are now looking at a score of 4-1 San Diego. I guess San Diego must be really working off of that energy of their last win. I know they had some roster shift from the last game, but let's look at that replay. Ellis just easily breaking the mark to find Helton waiting for that score.
She is very tall, definitely able to step around most marks.
Oh yeah, marking Ellis, never fun. Yeah, I'm curious to see what Alicia Stown, the defensive coach for Super Bloom, has in play here. Wonder if we're gonna see a zone look, or if Super Bloom's gonna maybe continue working it with person D.
They did come out in zone last point, and it worked out, so we'll see.
Yeah, you're right, it did.
Powell centers. Looks like they are in some sort of a junk.
Yeah, seeing some sagging. Number 12.
Megan Maxfield. Generally a great deep threat, but working the unders for the zone O right now.
Yeah, really able to come through with the crashes there. Number 8, Shelby Petty, also moving the disc. Just a lot of short throws from Sidewinders, really working it.
I think they're back in person D now. Looking deep, and Kayla eats it up to Lang.
Yeah,
Super Bloom now in possession.
I think they, Super Bloom knows Sidewinders want to get it to Cynthia Thomas, and Helton was able to capitalize on that slight poach.
Lang launches to Kayla. Kayla with a great grab right on the end zone line. She has Neha. Looks for Pujonas.
Smart dump. WUL with the disc.
Pujonas wide open.
Lang with a bid to keep the possession.
To T-Fang.
Say Fang looking for a...
Break side. Goal.
That was a little bit of a nail biter when Fang was looking for some sort of fill dump, but able to spot WUL, who was just there on the sideline to bring that score in.
Yeah, Sidewinders, or not Sidewinders, Super Bloom executing their vertical stack in the end zone very well.
All right, let's take a look here at the huck. Kayla Helton running that down, no problem. And then a nice, patient end zone set from Super Bloom with WUL there to ensure the score. And Super Bloom is up 5-1.
Yeah, Yeah, vert stack is hard to do, but when you do it properly, it allows those break side throws to be open and available.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely, I feel like an advantage here with how we're using the space.
Super Bloom coming out on D. We've got Carly centering it. Back to Carly.
Ah,
And Lippincott unable to maintain possession.
yeah, an uncharacteristic drop once again.
Laying to Avery. Avery launches it to Torch. And Torch with the goal.
Oh, that was a break throw to Salvation and just a easy snag in the end zone. And there we can see Salvation celebrating. Jones and Salvation celebrating together. Let's see that replay again. We see Jones just using that break space beautifully. Salvation able to reel that in for the score.
Avery put that into space just perfectly where the defender was unable to make any sort of play on it.
Yeah, definitely. I imagine that Sidewinders are trying to talk about how their offense can come up against this Super Bloom defense. I think it is some miscommunication for Sidewinders, and they just need to shake that out and get those connections.
Helton with the pull. Inbounds. Centering to Steiner. Steiner swings it to Lindsay Doyle. Jade goes back to Doyle. And Carly finding an open threat. Oh, Jade.
That was quite uncharacteristic bobble. It looks like there is a call from McLaughlin. Yeah, that disc just seemed to have a mind of its own, just flopping out of.
It looked like she was faking it and then
Yes or no?
maybe lost
No
possession
contest.
with the wind.
All right, foul is called. It's here.
Oh, a foul.
Okay, that would make a little more sense there. Yeah, that would have been quite the uncharacteristic move from McLaughlin.
Where you were when the turnover happened? Where you were when the turnover happened? I'm going to pre-stall. Pre-stall 4.
All right, play coming back in. McLaughlin with the disc,
1. Disc is in.
looking for a dump. I'd say another foul call happening here.
Lexa Stombaugh on the mark.
Yeah, playing a very tight mark.
Jade looking for an option, trying to dump. Gets one off. Nice break throw from LP. To Doyle.
Marilyn Reich seems like they're looking for that disc back.
LP on the sideline throwing another break to Carly. Steiner with it. With an IO forehand break
To Doyle.
for the goal.
Yeah, I think Sidewinders really needed that goal. Kind of let themselves know that their O-line is able to work together, come together, get that movement against the San Diego defense. We do see, Steiner, Doyle, McLaughlin, a lot of touches with that disc. Definitely running the show there. And I feel like some of them are also. Do you see any of them coming back for this D-line? No.
See Cynthia Thomas, that's for sure.
Yep, a staple for the Sidewinders D-line for
She
sure.
has been a force as the deep.
And here we see the fans. It seems like the blow-up cutout of players' faces is a popular trend going on.
Yep, they've got the big head. That's Liz Murphy's. And
Yeah.
a Sidewinder in the stadium. Look out.
Yeah, very, very nice to see Sidewinder fans able to make it out to San Diego to support their team.
You see Super Bloom's O-line for the first time in a long time. Centering to Kelly Iwamoto. Who gets Avery Jones.
Looks a little poachy. I wouldn't quite call it a zone. But definitely trying to get Super Bloom on that sideline, make them throw that backhand.
Like there's a call. A couple throws ago. Maybe with Leslie Wills.
It's here, count for 1.
Yeah,
Swing
let's
back to Avery.
staying with Jones. May have been a call with Willis, but staying with Jones. We see Jones kind of directing traffic there, telling folks play is in.
Kelly Iwamoto with it. One of the fastest gals in the game. Can confirm. And a goal to Avery Jones.
What a UCSD connection. You think they've done that before?
Just like they drew it up.
Familiar territory for those two. Definitely able to just work it in a
Avery
little
with
give
the
and
celebration. Love to see him having fun.
Yeah, I feel like let's look at a replay here. That little give and go. Avery Jones able to reel it in with that touch throw from Iwamoto. I'd have to say that the energy that Super Bloom is bringing to this game seems like they are a lot more confident. They've kind of settled into their routine. I don't know what they talked about between the games, but it's working.
Yeah, you have to wonder if having that first game really helped them like establish the rhythm and get ready for the second game.
Yeah, Sidewinders here for the O point.
Centering to Steiner to LP.
Aragon to Doyle.
Oh, wow. Kayla with the D. Lang's picking up for Super Bloom. And gets a big gainer.
Zoe Tesler.
Tesler to Neha. Neha looking for Kayla. Kayla wide open. Neha going. Kayla's opting for a dump.
Looks like
it's hit by Jade.
Probably a discussion of contact, but I do see for Sidewinders, Dietrich back on the field, and that is heartening to see that she is okay after that bid.
It is good to see. She's one of their star players. They're definitely going to need her in this second quarter.
Coming to the observer, we ruled that it was no stall. No foul. You're right.
Okay, foul call, not a stall call. And it does look like observers are saying no foul, which means possession.
Goes to the Sidewinders.
Unsure.
Jade gets the D.
I think the observer threw the disc back to where
they thought the disc was.
Yeah, where
an immediate bomb from LP.
Looking for Donahue. Donahue unable to connect.
Lang was able to disrupt enough. Centering to Pujonas. Back to Lang. And Super Bloom fighting for that high side. Lang working it to Pujonas. Pujonas airs it out to Kayla. What a combo. Will she get it? Kayla
Beautiful
reads it
read.
perfectly. I assume Angela made a timeout call.
Yeah, timeout called. It's definitely going to be a good time. Right in front of their end zone, able to put in that end zone play, put whoever they want as one in the stack. And let's get a replay of that throw. See Pajunas just putting it to Helton, knowing that she is a force in the deep space.
Yeah, trust your receiver. If it's Kayla Helton, you can trust her.
Also, those two, Pajunas and Helton, having a phenomenal game against Astra, and I think just carrying that energy through against Sidewinders here.
I asked Kayla who she was excited to play with the most, and she said Pujonas and her are having a great time together.
Yeah, it is definitely shining through. Those two are phenomenal players, both forces in their own right.
Love to watch. Looks like Avery Jones is going to be picking it up for Super Bloom.
With Iwamoto almost in like a 90-degree dump. And who do we have? One in stack is Maldonado. Looks like we got a little handler play about to start here.
See what shakes up.
We do see a poach by Sidewinders trying to clear out that open space. Iwamoto getting high in the stall.
Not a lot of options.
Has to put it up. Sees Messner. Messner running it down.
Blair, no one's on you.
Back to Iwamoto. Nice tuck and roll.
Blair with it with not a lot of options. Back to Iwamoto.
I feel like the stack should maybe come in a little bit, help out.
Avery Jones for the goal.
And that is another goal for Jones. Great possession by Super Bloom there, just really able to work within their end zone set. Messner with a great rundown of that throw. Of course, you know, she catches it. Messner is one of the speediest cutters in the San Diego Ultimate area and probably in the league. Let's see a replay again. That looked like a lefty backhand from Iwamoto to Maldonado, who sees
Avery Jones open for a goal.
Yeah, we're coming up on about 2 minutes left in the second quarter. Super Bloom 8-2 to Sidewinders. Really looking to see how Sidewinders respond to the force that Super Bloom D-line and O-line players are bringing to this game.
Centering pass to Steiner.
To Doyle, trying to work it. Looks zone look from Super Bloom.
Back to Steiner, who's caught on this downwind side. Sneaks it through.
Oh, an
A
attempt
great
to
bid.
save with a bid from McLaughlin. Just a miscommunication with Sidewinders. Definitely something we're seeing with this wind. And it looks like the same thing.
Miscommunication from Helton to Lang.
Diedrich
Steiner
in that deep
immediately
space.
looking for Diedrich. Right outside of the goal line, 6 yards to go. Open receiver and Jade McLaughlin. That's the goal.
And those are the two players on Sidewinders, not the only two players, but definitely two players on Sidewinders who are a threat in the deep space and just patient possession from Dietrich, seeing McLaughlin without a defender and able to get that score, bringing us to 8-3 Super Bloom.
Great to see Dietrich back on the game.
Let's get a replay. We see that beautiful put to Dietrich.
Wide open. Dietrich to Jade McLaughlin.
Dietrich is a lefty, right? I'm assuming that lefty backhand here.
You know, usually when I play her against her, she's receiving the disc, so
Yeah, I
Cannot
do
comment.
see in my notes she is left-handed.
generally she's skying it above me. So. Kelly Iwamoto picking up for Super Bloom O-line on the sideline. Torch in a power position.
Iwamoto swinging it. Maldonado.
Super Bloom fighting for that high side, getting it, and staying over there.
We
Vertical
see
stack trying to work it, might be a little deep.
Yeah. Looks like a vert stack. Dabowski snagging that on an undercut. Salvation. Maldonado. Faking for Blair to come under.
Oh, Iwamoto just can't hold on to that with a drop. Sidewinders now have an option.
Shelby Petty picking up for Sidewinders.
Lefty deep, unable to connect.
I'm wondering if this is a point where Super Bloom might call a timeout to see if they can. Oh, we have 24 seconds left on the clock. So this could be the last possession of the quarter. We see Blair going deep. Iwamoto
Centers again fighting for that high side.
to Willis. Looking for something.
Very aggressive mark. Unfortunate drop. And Sidewinders have a chance
Looks like we got
to finish out this quarter, potentially.
the clock is changing a little bit. Looks like we have
Oh, and a great D.
no.
That should be the end of the half.
Yeah. Yeah, so it looks like the clock was resetting for a couple of those calls there, and that was the last possession of this quarter, which means we are going into the second half. This is maybe not the game that I expected to see between Sidewinders and Super Bloom, given that Super Bloom was coming off of a very tight game against Astra. I would think that, you know, their top players, Helton, Iwamoto, Pajunas, honestly, all of them ran a lot. Let's see a replay. That was the final turn.
Great D by Crypto.
And just Sidewinders having not quite dominating the spaces that I would think they would be able to dominate. Some miscommunications. I think the wind, again, is having a factor. Maybe some personnel changes as they're getting used to them could also be playing into that. What do you think they're discussing going into the second half? What do you think they're going to try to focus on coming out?
I think Sidewinders need to focus on playing their own game and not worrying about the wind or the score right now. I think they have the players. They know that they have the ability to do this. But yeah, it's got to be hard coming from behind. Probably play a possession game.
And we will be right back after break going into the second half here in the second game. And we're back in the Sidewinders San Diego showdown at the San Diego Beach Bowl. You know, San Diego is known for its beautiful weather, but I think the wind is definitely coming into play. Let's take a look at these game stats here. We see both sides have 2 holds here. Queen holds 1. We do see Sidewinders leading a little bit on total turnovers, but Super Bloom is also up there. We do see Super Bloom with 6 breaks to Sidewinders 1, and then break chances 15 for Super Bloom to Sidewinders 3.
Yeah, that break chances stat is very telling. You have to see that Super Bloom has been given many, many opportunities to get the goals and the score that they have right now. So I think Sidewinders need to clean it up a little bit and possess.
Yeah, and here we see the standings are now updated. We see Super Bloom now in 3rd, coming off of that intense, exciting win against Astra in double overtime. They're standing now 2-1, and we see Sidewinders just below at 2-2, with this game really making it or breaking it in terms of the championship that is coming up for those top 4 spots. And we can see Utah Wild, Falcons, and Onyx just below there. Sorry, Astra. And I think we're seeing I was asking earlier if the mascot for Sidewinders does travel with the team, and it looks like we're having a mascot battle, folks. Looks like we're seeing Poppy versus Sidewinder. We'll be right back after a short break, and we'll let you know how this mascot face-off ends.
We believe that women and non-binary athletes deserve to be seen and our abilities showcased for the world to see.
We believe in perpetuating Ultimate by establishing professional teams and developing future generations of players.
We believe players of all identities and backgrounds deserve an equal opportunity to be recognized and lauded for our achievements in our sport.
We believe
in sustainably and responsibly creating equitable and accessible avenues for women and non-binary athletes to join and participate in our sport.
We believe that being transparent,
open,
and responsive to criticism is critical,
and that there should always be space
to fix our mistakes,
grow, and be better.
We are the Western Ultimate League.
I really want to show young girls that they can be athletes too. I've struggled with imposter syndrome, and I've really had to ground myself in why I play. I play because it's fun. I like to compete. I like to show it with my teammates. I like to push myself to be the best. And I think being out there and doing that for them and having other people see and potentially think that, hey, that can be me one day, that's really exciting.
I know I've struggled in my own life to take up space, and I think that it's so amazing that the Ultimate Field has changed that for me. That I can get out there and I'm no, I know I am a good cutter and I know what I need to do here and I know my role on the team. And I think that it's just helped me open up so much. It's also led to more confidence for myself, and I really want for other women and non-binary folk to see that, oh, they're out there doing this. How do I get into that? What does that look like? What's my role there?
I really liked a combination of both endurance and shorter, more competitive sprints, and then also going up directly against players. And I think that also is what attracted me to Ultimate as well. Understanding what you're capable of doing is just a really great experience that kind of drives you to just get better at those individual skills in sports.
My Ultimate story, I've been fortunate to have coaches and friends in the community to encourage me to be the player that I am today and ultimately fall in love with the sport of Ultimate. So I hope that the Western Ultimate League, like this program we have today, the Open Side, we continue to connect and welcome new fans and future players and continue growing this community that we all love. I think hopefully one day that someone will fall in love with the sport as much as I love it.
I think that's the biggest thing for me, is just knowing that we're giving an opportunity and visibility to the sport for young women. It's the best
Let's go
thing.
one more time.
Oh,
yeah! Oh yeah!
Baby!
Cody!
And welcome back to the Super Bloom versus Sidewinders game. Kayla Hilton is absolutely destroying it today. 2 goals, 5 blocks, a couple turns, but when you have that many blocks, you can take some
Evens out.
chances.
Actually, I mean, one more block than turn, so. Let's look at some highlights from the game so far. Hilton highlights. Here we go. That's a no. And then Hilton says, I'll take it deep though. There we go. Beautiful catch there. And another D from Hilton.
Jonas airing it out to Hilton. Right on the end zone line.
Dominating that deep space as a defensive player and offense. And there we have Hilton there. Just world's team quality play out there.
She's a stud. Can confirm.
Yeah, I think coming into this second half, Sidewinders have to shake it up a little bit. I think their O-line is able to move the disc, but there are just one or two miscommunications, and then San Diego is really capitalizing on that quick turn, getting that disc downfield. As you saw in that highlight package, Hilton in the deep space. San Diego is looking for those deep looks, and I want Sidewinders to challenge those a little more.
Yeah, it's going to be an adjustment for them. I feel like they're used to going usually deep from Ari Nelson to Helen Eifer, and with both of those gals not here, Sidewinders are going to have to make a couple adjustments. We'll see what happens in the second half with Sidewinders coming out on D.
Willis picking up, centering to Iwamoto. Looking
Sidewinders in a fronting defense, taking away a lot of those undercuts.
Really tight handler D as well. Ah, what a step back throw from Iwamoto to Salvation. Messner with the grab. Seeing
Messner
Avery.
puts it up to Avery, and Avery's with the grab for a goal.
Messner saying, oh, Avery Jones, the one who's been scoring today? Yeah, I'll put it up to her.
With her dance again.
Just phenomenal celebrations. I think that's why the team wants her in the end zone, just to see those celebration dances. Let's get a replay. We see Messner snagging it on the sideline, putting it up. Great shape on that throw to Jones. Just a nice outside in.
Yep, did not give Megan Maxfield much to work with on the defensive play. So
and we see Jones' stats here. 3 goals in this game, 1 assist. No blocks yet, and just 1 turnover. But those 3 goals really speak for themselves.
So in the positive, that's all you gotta ask for. Super Bloom pulling. Steiner picking up. It's like Super Bloom is in a bit of a saggy junk here. These dumps are able to ping pong, looking big, cross field, and it's completed.
Great look from Aragon.
We'll see what their end zone looks like. Break side.
Oh!
Cannot hold on to it.
That is such an unfortunate bobble.
Unfortunate for Doyle.
Yeah, it looks like Sidewinders had not quite gotten into their end zone set yet and just zeroed in on Doyle in that space, but couldn't quite cinch that hold.
Sidewinders look like they're going into a bit of an adjustment with their defensive play, dedicating one person to taking away the end cut in that open lane. And we're airing it out.
Tessler with the disc, looking for Ellis to dump.
Kayla with the disc.
Helton seeing, looking for Ellis, saying instead.
Frost to Lang. Lang with the dump break. Lefty backhands. This team loves them.
It's definitely a staple of UCSD players.
Lexa with a great fake there. Back to Lang. Knocking on the doorstep. Fakes the scuba to Pujonas. Pujonas throws the break to Lexa. Steinball with the goal.
Nice, easy end zone set there. Just swinging, filling, cutting up line when needed. Let's get a replay of that. We see Lang there, getting it to Pujonas, who sees a nice break option in Lexa Steinball.
With her doppelganger, Kayla.
Yeah, they both have bows. And from way up here in the box, a little hard to tell the difference. Yeah, Super Bloom just seeming to maintain their dominance in the second half so far. The score being 10-3 Super Bloom. Sidewinders offense probably talking about what their play should be out of the pool.
Yeah, we'll see what adjustments they make with a different O-line maybe.
Looks like we have center to Shelby Petty. Looking for K. Powell. Dump. Goes to Sim Kalsa.
Oh, nice break that cannot be held on to. Pujonas now has it. Centers it to Zhang. Pujonas faking deep and then gets a big gainer.
WUL holstering it for Vinekakar's undercut.
Neha centers it to Lang. Lang swings it to Pujonas.
Looks like WUL is poached over there. No defender on.
Nice patient offense from the Super Bloom. Zhang and Lang working it. Lang puts it out there and throws her receiver open. It's Neha.
Neha Vinekar able to get that break throw that Lang just saw. The defender wasn't quite paying attention and able to use that break side. But yeah, patient end zone set there. Let's see if we can get a replay of that score. Here we are. Lang just saying, hey, I see you out there. And Vinekar able to just reel it in. I think as we see this third quarter progress, we're really seeing, I'd say, Super Blooms looking very comfortable playing their own game, and that is a difference from their first game.
Flipping caught with the disc. Looking for a dump. Gets one in Steiner. Steiner has to boost it, and Pujonas is there to eat it up.
Just knocking it down, giving some time for handlers to come pick up the disc and move that disc downfield. And this point differential that we're seeing Super Bloom able to rack up during this game is definitely,
Diedrich with the D. Throwing a little bit behind Pujonas. Putting it up for a goal to Jade.
McLaughlin able to just run down to the end zone and bring Sidewinders up to 4.
Here we see they were not ready for that.
Yeah, really taking advantage of that quick turn.
Very, very quick and smart transition from Sidewinders.
Definitely a needed point for Sidewinders. Hopefully getting their energy up and coming back fighting for the rest of this third quarter. As I was saying earlier, the point differential that San Diego has right now could definitely benefit. Oh, quick replay here of that score. McLaughlin with
Wide
no
open.
defenders in sight because of that turn, quick turn. But yeah, the point differential definitely a big help for San Diego when it comes to standings for the championship, and possibly hurting Sidewinders as well.
It's like Sidewinders coming out in a zone, the 3-person cup. 2 people fronting the unders. Kelly Iwamoto immediately with the lefty backhand to Hannah Walters. Walters to Avery Jones. I think they're utilizing 4 handlers in this zone, and that's an adjustment that they've made from the last game when the Astra was doing a very good zone against them.
Definitely, and it's opening up that lateral space for them, allowing there to be an option when one of those handlers does crash and there's another one for the dump. We still have a 4th handler for a far side swing if needed.
It does look like Cynthia Thomas's person on that far handler, aka Kelly Iwamoto. So we'll see if these 3 handlers can dish it back and forth and break through this cup.
Yeah, Super Bloom has definitely been focusing on their zone offense, working it against zones like this. See that swing? Unfortunate. That was a great
Sam
D.
Myland almost with the D.
But San Diego able to maintain possession. Still working against this zone.
Handler's a little bit trapped on this far side.
Yeah, we can see when it does get back to the center, Sidewinders are just really tightening up on that 4th person back, making sure that swing looks like it might be an option, but more of a possibility of a run through D there.
As we saw from last time.
Yeah, we'll see. We're Super Bloom moving back a little. See if they can get through this zone. But seeming comfortable with handlers moving it. Something that they've been practicing. Oof, nearly there. Maxfield on the mark.
Super Bloom just playing catch right now.
Playing catch on a windy field.
It sounds like Sidewinders are about to go into person defense.
Yeah, looks like they've closed out of the zone. See Messner looking for Iwamoto. Good heads up D.
Shelby Petty.
From Shelby Petty.
Streaking deep.
I believe that is Kay Powell with the disc.
Kay putting it up. Megan Maxfield with the goal.
Yeah, Kay Powell, just a phenomenal standstill hucker, able to, from that position, see the downfield, take that deep shot, and get that score.
It might have been a bit of a high stall bailout option, but it worked out. Megan Maxfield generally plays for Lawless and is one of those
see that
small
replay.
but mighty players who goes deep a lot.
See the D there from Shelby Petty, and then Kay Powell putting it up, and Maxfield just having a great read on that disc in the end zone. Another much needed score for Sidewinders. It does look like they're trying to close that gap in the score for the second half of this quarter. Definitely showing Super Bloom that they are still in this fight.
With this much of a lead, it looks like Super Bloom might be opening up their lines a little bit, giving Kayla Hilton a point to take a break.
Yeah, some much needed rest after dominating the deep space on both O and D. Looks like there might be a false start.
Or an offsides.
Time violation.
Oh.
So just a recap, on a pool, offense has 40 seconds to signal readiness, and then after that signal, defense has 20 seconds to pool.
So Super Bloom gets it in the middle of their own end zone. That's going to be tough. Callahan country.
Definitely, and that would be a huge win for Sidewinders, probably bringing up their energy.
They need some juice right now.
Might even say they need some venom. All right.
Lang immediately has an open option. Oh, unfortunate drop.
Maybe a little too much zip on that throw and bounces off of Juan. Looks like there might be a call, timeout call for Sidewinders.
Indeed.
Looks like the Sidewinders players are so it looks like it was a timeout call for Sidewinders since they are offense. And
there's the turn. Unfortunate drop. Too much zip.
Yeah, I feel like the Sidewinders line that was on there, you know, they're saying, hey, why is there a timeout? We're really in this flow. But it really is a smart decision in the sense of being able to set up an end zone play when you're this close and capitalize on the break to strategize on what exactly you want.
Yeah, they're in great field position right now, and like you said, every point matters.
All right, let's take a look at our stores. Do you want to look as fly as the Arizona Sidewinders? Well, you can. Go ahead and visit the Arizona Sidewinders store at arizonasidewinders.com/team store.
I love those jerseys. Great snake vibe.
And of course, if you want to represent San Diego Super Bloom and Poppies, you can go ahead and head to San Diego Super Bloom store. Same thing, just /shop. And we are back to this point. Post timeout, Sidewinders with a disc. Looks like we have number 25, Marilyn Reich.
Reich looking for Jade. Oh, Jade with a bid, but cannot come up with it.
That would have been a great Shame connection. I know both of those players have played together for a while on Shame.
Iwamoto picking up on our own end zone line.
Kind of back where we started. Let's see if Super Bloom can get out of that end zone and move it downfield.
Avery Jones back to Kelly. Iwamoto.
Big fake there. Looking for a dump. Up line to Ellis.
Ellis has a big option in Avery. Avery's defender tried to get that other D.
Ooh, a little bit of traffic in the air there. That disc kind of hung in the wind. Looks like there was a stall call back on Iwamoto. Going to the observer.
No stall call.
No stall. I would imagine if it was...
Because there was a stall, and it was overruled, that this stays a throw after the stall was called. So there's no turnover.
Interesting. Okay, so looks like what happened here is because it was a contested stall and then the observer called no stall, the call still stopped play, and it is now going back to Rebecca Ellis before
yes,
the
it's
turn.
going to be a pre-stall. All right, everybody good. Coming in a pre-stall. 4,
So Super Bloom
3,
getting another
2,
chance
1.
to score here. See Avery Jones.
Open all day. Centers it to Iwamoto.
It's really fun seeing Jones, Iwamoto, and Ellis working a handler set together. Looks like a high stall put. Oh, great bid from Samantha WUL, but not quite able to connect there.
Sidewinders picking up on their own end zone line. Let's see what they can do out of this vertical stack.
Looks like they want a handler initiating cutters waiting downfield. Another throw just off of the hands of a receiver.
Unfortunate doink. Let's see what end zone Super Bloom puts up. Iwamoto picking up. Vertical stack. Looking for Avery. It's another goal.
Another goal for Avery Jones. Is that 4 now?
Maybe 5.
Possibly 5. Countless, really. Great connection there with Iwamoto and Jones. Really able to punch it in. Let's get a replay there. We see Iwamoto thought about throwing it to Ellis, and then Avery Jones open just behind Ellis. That was a really, honestly, fortunate call for Super Bloom that the stall ended up bringing the throw back to Ellis instead of it being a turn down in that kind of trafficy high stall put that happened in it. It looks like they were able to capitalize, even though Sidewinders did get possession back and had that unfortunate just off the hands throw there.
Unfortunate for Sidewinders. Hopefully they can come up with something here on O. Steiner to LP. Back to Steiner to LP. Super Bloom coming in his zone. Steiner, not a lot of options. Goes over the top to the crossfield upwind. Jade McLaughlin with it. Back to Steiner. To LP.
Aragon and Steiner really able to work against this cup. Looks like Sidewinders. Oh, Cody Lip.
A little bit too much juice on that toss.
Yeah, Cody Lippincott trying to bid to get a score for Sidewinders there, just out of reach. We'll get a replay of that. We see McLaughlin shooting for Lippincott, and Lippincott bidding but not quite able to connect. But Sidewinders able to have broken through.
Jade with an immediate D on the gold line.
We're back in. Nice.
Because it's number 11, LP Aragon for the goal.
Yeah, that was an immediate turn back. You said it was a D by McLaughlin, and then able to just shoot it into Aragon. Let's get a replay of that. That looked like a good poach D by McLaughlin. Seeing not quite in. Able to just put it up to Aragon for a much needed score for Sidewinders, bringing us to 12-6 as we go into the final minute of this third quarter. I feel like Sidewinders are bringing some more energy to this game at this point. I feel like they're settling into their roles with the change in personnel and are kind of showing Super Bloom, don't count us out yet. We're still in this, and we have a deep roster, a lot of talent on Sidewinders.
Super Bloom on O, immediately centering to Kelly Iwamoto, to Avery Jones. Jones looks deep immediately. Open receiver.
Jessica Wan just able to read that, even with 2 Sidewinders defenders.
That lefty backhand. And it's a goal.
Yeah, great body awareness by Dabowski. Able to grab that from Maldonado, and it was a quick response from Super Bloom's O-line.
That was a great hold by Super Bloom.
Let's see if we can get a replay of that. I want to see that deep shot again.
Yeah, it looked like she was potentially covered, but that was a perfect throw.
Here we go. We see Avery
stepping out, making it happen.
Yeah, and then another UCSD alum, Jessica Wan, able to just cinch it, and then we see back to Maldonado with a nice lefty flick, it looked like. Or I'm missing maybe, but great put to Dabowski in the end zone.
20 seconds left. Super Bloom fans, make some noise for defense.
Super Bloom with a deep pull. Steiner to LP to Steiner. To LP. Marilyn Reich uncovered.
That is never a good sign. Doyle. Back to Steiner. Steiner looking for Doyle. Probably a high stall.
Nice break throw, followed by another break.
Oh my goodness!
Yes, Jade with another goal.
McLaughlin with an athletic catch in the end zone, and that is it for the third quarter. It should be 13-7, I believe, now at the end of the third quarter. Let's see if we can get a replay of that. Sidewinders just really able to move it. We see again here, McLaughlin going to the ground to make sure she maintains possession and ends the quarter with that Sidewinder score, bringing us to 13-7 with Super Bloom still in the lead, but Sidewinders definitely coming in with more energy. And we can see some fans here as we see Sidewinders celebrating, going into a quick break, and then we will be back for the fourth quarter. And we are back in San Diego's Beach Bowl. We are entering the final quarter of the game for Sidewinders and Super Bloom. We can see the standings here. Once again, pivotal game for both teams here. It is a make it break it kind of situation with both Super Bloom and Sidewinders needing this win, needing the point differential as well to work in their favor. We see Sidewinders coming out on offense.
Sidewinders using 4 handlers and the full width of the field with that pass to Jade.
Just
handlers working it. Ooh, a
little bit of contact.
Flipping caught, does not seem phased. And play resumes with a goal.
Unsure. I do think there was a little miscommunication on in terms of, was the call actually made on that contact? Was it called as a foul? If so, play should stop. But I don't know if all players on the field were aware, so it's back to Lippincott. Scooped up.
Gets the dump off. Sidewinders really having to work for this goal.
Marilyn Reich getting it back to Aragon.
I believe there's a pick called. Lexa Stomba on D.
And we're back. All right, yeah, just kind of, working out the calls, making sure everyone is on board. That's part of, playing with integrity, making sure everyone on the field is aware of what's going on with these calls. Aragon looking for a dump.
She's got a bail out to Dietrich for a goal.
Dietrich not to be counted out after that bid early on. Still able to score for Sidewinders.
It's now 8-13, not as much of a lead as
Let's
there was.
see a replay there. Aragon seeing Dietrich and saying yes. That is a receiver.
Also there. 2 phenomenal options. in the deep zone.
Yeah, I'm seeing Sidewinders. Just it feels like their energy is building each quarter, and that is making this game closer as we get to a score of 13-8. And we see Super Bloom O-line on the line here. Looks like we have Jade McLaughlin pulling for Sidewinders. Wonder what kind of play Super Bloom's going to come out with. Willis centering to Iwamoto.
It's like they're in person D, the side stack.
Seeing Salvation, who's looking for a dump. Maybe too many of them. Iwamoto able to scoop that up.
I can't tell you how fast Iwamoto is.
Oh, I can. Too fast.
Avery can't come up with it,
but
our
Messner
teammate
there.
can. Blair with a great centering pass. A nice break side to Torch.
Yeah, good inside flick from Willis.
Another lefty backhand.
Oh, look at that movement, but actually looking for Jessica Wan in the end zone. And that is another Super Bloom score. Lots of quick movement there. Lots of great movement from the handlers. Let's see that play again. We see Iwamoto with a quick give and go, but actually we see Jessica Wan in the end zone with a good defensive pressure from Liz Murphy there, number 13. But
Liz
just
almost coming up with the D, but just out of reach.
Exactly. Yeah, Super Bloom kind of seemed like their downfield was a little clogged up there, maybe with the Sidewinder defense. But they were able to rely on their handler movement and get that disc down to the end zone.
Playing with the pull.
Aragon. Aragon and Steiner.
Back to Steiner.
Looks like we are seeing a zone look from Super Bloom defense. Huge put. Let's see if Doyle. Oh my!
Doyle comes down with it.
Goodness. That was a heads up between Doyle and Kayla Helton, and Doyle was able to just tiptoe, reach above, and come down with that score. Let's see a replay of that deep shot. Sidewinders testing Kayla Helton again. Here we go with a deep shot
from Steiner.
Steiner and Helton vying for that space.
Kayla right there in the right position in front of her.
One more time, we see that. Steiner just able to get a little more hop and snag that disc in the end zone. One more time. You know they show it 3 times because Helton has been such a deep, dominant player.
It's probably going to fire up even more. Look out.
Oh, definitely. All right, Sidewinders defense coming down, trying to shut down the Super Bloom offense.
Iwamoto to Messner. Messner has some deep options.
There might be a
travel call.
Travel call. All right, I was wondering if it was an in-out call. I'm like, she definitely caught it on the inside and then maybe took a couple steps out. Travel call does not stop play, so time is running.
K-Pel on the mark. Iwamoto with a bailout dump. She's got Hannah Walter.
Messer
Back to Messner.
Coming in for that fill. Great positioning. Some poachy. Oh, looks like we have some contact downfield. Pick seems to have been called by Sidewinders. All right, back in play. Walter with the disc. Iwamoto up line. Seeing Dabowski looking for Iwamoto for that dump.
Every other for Iwamoto.
Jessica Wan again
And
in the end zone.
Jessica Wan.
Another quick player, just able to gain those first few early steps on her defender and get to that space. Super Bloom celebrating here.
I wonder how many Super Bloom players have scored goals in this game. This is a very high-scoring game.
Yeah, here we go with Iwamoto seeing Juan and saying, yeah, that's open.
Great bid from the defender, but there's only so much you can do.
Yeah, great defensive pressure from Sidewinders here. Definitely challenging these cuts, these throws, putting the pressure on. But Super Bloom, I think, finding their rhythm in this second game and able to trust each other in these looks.
Kayla Helton with the pull.
Real floaty pull, gives time for defense to set.
Looks like they're in another zone look.
Looks like Samantha WUL there kind of hunting for a run through on the pool. Aragon. Back to Steiner. Seeing McLaughlin. These three are definitely running the handler set.
Oh, too excited to get that one off.
Yeah, definitely saw that they were able to get past the San Diego zone, and I think got a little too excited, but the McLaughlin, Steiner, Aragon movement in the backspace was working against that zone.
Pujonas putting it deep. Can Nahal come down with it? Slightly out of bounds.
Yeah, just a little picked up by the wind a little bit, pushed out of bounds. Trying to look, I think that was the connection earlier, was Pujonas to Vine Concur. Trying to reenact it, but the wind said, not yet.
Carly Steiner bringing it in on the sideline.
Immediately looking for Aragon.
Oh, looks like there's a call, maybe an injury.
Samantha WUL for Super Bloom coming off. Maybe like a rolled ankle.
Yeah, playing on turf is not my favorite.
Yeah, Brenda Stevens coming in for the substitution.
Do you want a sub? Yeah. Sub coming.
Looks like we are also getting a sub on Sidewinders. Looks like
Steiner's coming out.
And we have number 16.
Sam Myland coming in.
We'll see how this affects the Sidewinder
Stall 4,
offense.
3, 2, 1.
Stevens filling in as that. Oh, a good over-the-top throw from Aragon. Able to break through that cut.
Love to see the hammer.
Looks like they've transitioned to person.
Lippincott nearing the end zone to Jade. To Lippincott. LP's got it, looking break for a goal. And Marilyn Reich with the score.
That was really great movement from Sidewinders, able to break that cup with that big over the top throw, upside down throw, and then once they got past the cup, they just kept moving it, staying ahead of their defenders. Let's see that again. Lippincott with that disc to Mylan. Aragon with that break throw for the score.
Sidewinders trying to get hype late in this game.
Yeah, as we've said before, you know, every point matters, and if they can get their score as close as possible, get as many points as possible, it will only serve to help their standings.
Kay Powell coming out with the toss. It's inbounds in the middle of the field. Hannah Walters picking up. Looks like they're in split stack. Torch fighting for position. Avery Jones with the disc. Blair's going deep. Hannah's got it.
Hannah Walter fakes Messner off. Looks like a block, but there might be some contact on there. I don't believe Reich is contesting that. Back with Walter. Seeing Jones. Ooh, Cynthia Thomas bidding for that D.
Looked like Hannah's toss also got a little touch on it. Hannah to Jones. Jones the break. Unfortunate, it does not connect. Sidewinders here with a chance.
Yeah, this is a chance here for Sidewinders to get within 4 of Super Bloom.
Looks like Cynthia Thomas might need a break here.
Yeah, she is off the field. Did we get a substitute?
Okay.
Yeah, you can move. No timeout.
No time
Oh, sorry,
out.
no, it's an injury.
Injury sub. Looks like
So
Reich.
you're out.
They didn't know if there was a timeout.
Sorry, yeah, you can't move during an injury sub. My fault.
So looks like Reich is back on the field. It is an injury call, but we're not sure who's getting subbed out. Looks like Kayla Helton is coming in for Super Bloom. But players are not allowed to move on injury substitutions.
Sam Mylan coming into the game.
And we're asking for time on the clock to be added back to the point where injury was called. We are now at 4 minutes and 49 seconds. With Sidewinders with a chance to bring this score within 4. Reich with the disc. An unfortunate stumble from number 33.
Kayla immediately picks it up for a fast transition. Iwamoto with the disc. Back to Helton.
Looks like there is a pick call downfield.
Super Bloom in a vertical stack for their end zone set. Helton with the disc. Blair Messner going oven, not an option. Back to Iwamoto.
Oh,
back to Helton. Back to Iwamoto.
Iwamoto. Quick as lightning out there.
Avery Jones looking. Hannah Walters opts for the break to Kayla Helton for the goal.
You know, that was a really great use of movement there. We see Jones going up line, clearing that space for Walter to then throw a break to Helton for the score. Sidewinders rushing back down to field.
Yeah, a lot of times you're making a cut not just to get the disc, but to create space for somebody else to get it. Let's see.
Replay, there's that unfortunate turn for Sidewinders, and then we see Helton scoring once again for Super Bloom. I feel like Super Bloom, you know, is really comfortable in their end zone set. We see the movement seems pretty rote for them. They know what they're doing. They know where they should go. And it's hard to defend against that kind of system.
Steiner to LP, back to Steiner for a big gain. Steiner airs it out. Oh, wide open, but unfortunate drop.
Steiner spotting Meredith Bile across field, but like you said, unfortunate drop. Super Bloom with another chance here. Ellis starting, getting it to Zing. Back to Ellis. Looking downfield. Lauren Stewart. Fine Concur on the sideline. Back to Ellis. Definitely a pick, as the players had to run through each other to get to that space. Going back to Ellis. And we are just under 3 minutes left in this quarter. Oh, a great D by Meredith Bile. And she's looking for the bookends. She did it. I think she was making up for that throw that just went off the hands earlier, and she said, watch this. Run through D, and then for the score.
Seeing it again here.
Let's see that.
Run through D.
Keeps running.
Turns the page for the goal.
Yeah, that was a great read on that throw, seeing, oh, it's actually over the other shoulder, turning around, making sure she grabbed that for the score.
It looks like she gave her handler 2 options.
And now we see Super Bloom on O-line here with Sidewinders Pool. Great shot. Just at the 30 line.
Center to Iwamoto.
Looks like they're sagging to take away that easy open side throw. Very tight D. Looks like there might have been some incidental contact there. Sidewinders downfield D on those cutters is tight person D, really challenging everyone.
Kelly Iwamoto with an oven cut. Gets an easy dump off.
Looks like the stack is a little unsure of spacing right now.
Yeah, that backhand force might be messing with him a little bit.
Is that it? Yeah. Maldonado able to break it to Iwamoto. Jones looking for Maldonado.
Will it go back to Jones?
Seeing Iwamoto up line. And Dabowski in the right place at the right time. That is another score for Super Bloom. I think you're right in that the backhand force did trip them up a little bit, kind of close off the cuts downfield as everyone got reoriented, and then they were able to figure it out and come through with the score. Let's see that replay.
Kelly Iwamoto making it look easy. Helps when your defender, or when Christina Dabowski is wide open.
Yeah, Christina Dabowski plays for San Diego Burrito, a mixed team. Definitely a downfield threat. Nice, such a nice person.
Super tall, super nice.
Huge downfield threat. Will come down with the disc.
Yeah, I think in the LA game she had the task of guarding Dina Elamelik as well as Kayla Holton.
Height against height. Sidewinders seeing a cutter streaking deep here, but choosing to do handler motion instead. Keeping possession.
To Jade. To Marilyn Reich.
Ashley Stahl. Back to Reich. Aragon. Steiner again.
Oh, just off the tips.
Unfortunate. There might be a call, another injury call. It looks like it is Pajunas. Maybe hit the ground in an... Got to tell you, folks, the turf out there is rough to land on. And these players are just, you know, casually throwing their bodies around on this turf.
Yeah, I saw Kayla had like 3 turf burns all over her body, so do not envy her and have been in that position.
But get in all those blocks. the price of greatness.
For the stats, it's worth it.
All right, we are back in play here. Looks like Super Bloom has Ling picking up.
Kayla Holton immediately busting deep. Lang puts it to her.
McLaughlin right there challenging it.
Great read by Kayla. Way to play her defender.
Van Kukura there for the bailout, giving it back to Feng. Van Kukura again.
Super Bloom, plenty of time.
We have 20-ish seconds left on the clock, but it does look like there is a call, pick call. But folks, this could very likely be the last possession of the game. Super Bloom just needing to maintain that possession here.
Oh, easy run through D. As she streaks deep, Carly Steiner's thinking about it. And an unfortunate drop. Lang picks up for Super Bloom. Gets the swing off.
And we are back to now the final possession.
Good D by Steiner, but that's the game. Super Bloom 17, Arizona Sidewinders 11.
That was a great second half for Sidewinders. They, in the first half, definitely came out a little wobbly against a fired-up Super Bloom coming off of that double overtime win against Astra. But it definitely seems like Sidewinders were able to pull it together, pull ahead, score some more points in the second half, and show that they are a team to contend with, even with these personnel changes, even with the wind, and able to put up a good fight in that second half. But Super Bloom ultimately had probably too much of a lead from that first half, and Sidewinders just not able to quite make up for it.
It does seem like Super Bloom capitalized on the energy from the first game and brought it into the second game. Sidewinders will have a chance tomorrow versus Astra, and we're going to see the play of the game now. It's Kayla Hilton.
Here we go. We see Kayla Hilton. Great deep D. One more time.
Comes from nowhere to get the D on Aubrey Diedrich.
Another one. Replay again. Look at that awareness. Just a great read on that disc. Able to make a good play on that without any contact with the offensive player. And here we see the now two-time champs of today, Super Bloom, really coming out today, able to fight with Astra in a double overtime, cinching it for the win, and then coming out strong against Sidewinders with that energy and able to win with a very helpful point differential. As we look into the weeks ahead, that could definitely help them in their standings.
Yeah, I think Super Bloom learned a lot from the zone defense that was thrown at them, and they threw their own zone that worked out very well against the Sidewinders. Unfortunate that the Sidewinders are missing a couple players that are pretty key for them. Helen Eifert not here to make them the phenomenal plays that she usually makes. We'll see what happens tomorrow in the game versus Astra. It should be a very exciting, very interesting game for the standings.
Yeah, folks, don't forget that this Beach Bowl continues tomorrow with Astra facing Sidewinders, I believe 11 o'clock tomorrow. Same place, Mira Mesa High School here in San Diego. And we'll see how these two teams face up against each other in tomorrow's game. I think Astra's definitely going to, want to come out strong. They played an excellent game against Super Bloom, fighting neck and neck for that double overtime. And then Sidewinders are probably going to be able to talk through what changes they need to make and probably watch the footage from that game with Astra and come up with a strategy.
Yeah, it will be definitely interesting to see what adaptations they make from the last game, what defensive strategies and schemes that they come up with, and what adjustments they make in general to their O-line to make some of these goals happen.
Yeah, I think it's all right, so now we have the updated standings. With Super Bloom's win against Sidewinders and Astra today, that definitely bumps them up in the standings. We see that they are now number 2, just behind Tempest. Yeah, they are in a strong position to make playoffs now with these 2 wins under their belt. And then we do see Sidewinders is, I believe they started in the 4th position. Or
tomorrow is a must-win for Arizona and Astra, honestly. Looks like it'll be an interesting game to watch.
Yeah, Sidewinders definitely needing that win to keep them in the running for the playoffs. We see some of the great plays from the game.
Kayla with another D.
Yeah, here we see, Sidewinders able to come down with that amazing catch by Doyle over Helton.
Iwamoto with another D.
And we really hope to see you all tomorrow at the game with Astra against Sidewinders, 11 o'clock. And it should be another exciting day of Ultimate. Thank you all for joining us.